Hello, my name is Lisa Pylon, and this is a presentation for Psych 112. A little background, I grew up in South Carolina. My family's Mexican from Chihuahua, Mexico. I'm the oldest of four. I have three younger brothers that I love. They're my best friends. I moved to Rexburg, Idaho about a year ago, started last fall, and I love it here. It's quite different from home, but I love little Rexburg. I started studying psychology in a technical college that was close to my house, a 2-year school in which I started taking psych classes, and I loved it. I had a very strong interest in psychology, especially abnormal psychology. When I took my first general psych class, it was great. I loved it, but abnormal psych is really what hooked me on. And then I also took a history of systems of psychology right here at BYU, Idaho, and it was amazing. I loved learning about the history of philosophy and schools of thought, and it really got me interested in loving psychology. I have a good range of qualities that I would say are related to psychology that a psychologist would need, including being detail-oriented, a strategic thinker, being a good listener, and having optimism and helping others find optimism in their trials of life. I think the latter is very important just because working with people day to day, there has to be a sense of hope that things will get better. You have to be able to help have that empathy and optimism for other people. I also knew that a bachelor's in psychology would be a great way to start me off for a master's degree in a more specific field of psychology. So I'm excited to follow that education path here at BYU, Idaho, and continue after to become a clinical counselor. So I found a lot of these facts for counselors in Idaho, but they're pretty across the board for counselors in all states. There might be some differences state to state, but to be a clinical counselor, and I more specifically want to be a clinical counselor for teenagers and adults in helping emotional and behavioral needs, so often mental health. And to be a counselor, you have to have at least a master's or doctorate degree in counseling, psychology, or any other related psychology field. It's important that you get postgraduate or graduate education. Undergraduate is not enough in a counseling route. So with a total of about 5 to 8 years of schooling, depending on what path I take, you'll also have to do contact experience under supervision with clients. So I think it's about 2,000 hours that you have to do under supervision, and then after that, you can take an exam through the National Board of Certified Counselors in order to be officially a counselor to help people. And as far as it goes on my 4-year plan, I'm currently about halfway in my undergraduate education with around 60 credits. So with about 2 years left in my bachelor's degree, I'm preparing to find internships and get ready for the final psychology major field test. I need these to graduate, and they'll be great to help me apply for either a master's or doctorate program. Personally, I think I will start to look for a master's program rather than a PhD. So it's a lot of school, a lot of money, and I'm not sure if that's exactly what I want. So starting with a master's degree after BYU, Idaho, I'll look into my further future and see if I'll do more education after that. As a mental health counselor, you work with many different people. It also depends on where you work. You can work in social work, or you could work in private practice counseling, and those could be very different groups of people. But in general, you work with either individuals or groups to help improve mental health and daily life problems. Counseling could help individuals examine issues and struggles with traumatic events, with family struggles, social and financial struggles, or with anything else that impedes their daily life and work. I might also help individuals find plans on how to better their situation one day, week, or month at a time. And as a counselor, you often work with doctors or psychiatrists, as often clients pair therapy with medication.